Hello everyone, Jamarcus here, and I am here with week 5 of the HCL. We're facing Umbreon, who does not have an Umbreon but does have a Vaporeon, which is the same thing. Um, Water Absorb, I feel like I'm facing this thing every week, whether it's like Volcanion or this thing or a Clodsire. So I can't just bring Flip Turn Wall like I've been wanting to, so I'm being forced to bring Baton Pass, but that's okay. My opponent's team, pretty slow. Iron Boulder faster than Meow, but besides that, my team's quite a bit faster than everything they have. They struggle quite a bit with Meowscarada. Flower Trick is like something that I haven't really been bringing a lot, but it's fantastic into the team. Just hits Tinglu really hard, and then Vaporeon as well, and the knockoff is nice. Petrarunt turned me into a dark type, so I'm not weak to poison anymore. Just gotta watch out for static, and like potential helmets, but I'll hopefully be knocking those off. Dragapult also looks really good. Their fairy type is Gardevoir, which doesn't want to be taking a Shadow Ball. And then their steel type is an Earthworm, which again doesn't want to be taking Shadow Ball. So the Dragon Resist Generator is not great. I do have to watch out for Bulletproof on Chestnut, which I totally forgot during building, and I did no mocks. So I loaded into the game, spoilers, there was a Chestnut, and I realized, oh, if they're Terra Steel, I'm walled. I didn't bring a fire move. Um, but we'll see what happens in the actual game. Let's take a look at what I brought. First set I threw on was Fizdef Calm Mind Keldeo. This thing can just win the game. It can Calm Mind up on Tarap and Vaporeon and taunt them so that they can't Calm Mind on me. Secret Sword does pretty good damage to both of them, same with Tinglu. Surf plus Secret Sword hits pretty much everything except for the Salamence, who I don't really think is going to show up. I think they have 6 better Pokemon, even just the top 6. So that's the Cal set. All the Fizdef lets me not get revenge killed by Iron Boulder very easily. Then otherwise I'm faster than everything, assuming Pyro and Salamence don't show up. I should be faster than Petrarunt, and I can't really get revenge killed by Iron Boulder. I'm very much expecting Terra Fairy Scarf Gardevoir this game. I think it's fantastic, and to me it's really good at revenge killing my top 2 threats. And my Fairy Resists aren't the bulkiest, except for Pheasantipity, but Psychic move is scary, so I gotta watch out for that. That's Keldeo. Next up, Excadrill. Speaking of not having a guard switch in, I do. It's Max F AV Excadrill. Just standard moveset. I have Brick Break because I didn't know what else to throw on there. I thought, okay, maybe there's screens. I'll bring Brick Break. I didn't think I needed like Poison Jab or X Scissor or something, so that's Excadrill. It's a pretty standard set, and to keep Excadrill healthy is Mola. Just mixed defenses, swish Baton Pass with Scald. Nothing on their team really likes switching into Scald except for Vaporeon, of course. Then I have Healing Wish because I really didn't need to last move, so I just threw that on there. But yeah, this thing pretty much just switches on whatever and pivots out and maybe heals up Excadrill once in a while. Next up, Bandit Meow. I can run Adamant this game, which is great. Just enough speed for Pyro if it does show up. Not expecting it to, but no reason not to run that speed. Then yeah, just Flower Trick, Knockoff, Triple Axle, U-Turn, really standard set, but hits the team quite hard. Uh, Pretty much gets a kill whenever it comes out, I think, and then if they try to revenge kill me with a Scarfer, probably Guard, I have a really good switch into that, which is my plan. And then I also have Dragapult as a breaker with just 4 attacks, Life Orb. Dart, Shadow Ball, hits the whole team pretty well. Um, and then I have Sucker Punch, Quick Attack in the back just for some extra priority. Sucker Punch is really nice for Iron Boulder, and then Quick Attack does a little more than Sucker Punch to, assuming they're Terra Fairy on Gardevoir. I didn't think I needed that coverage, but I thought maybe Hydro Pump for Tinglu, but Dragon Darts does the same amount. But in hindsight, I probably should have had Fire Blast. It does quite a bit more to Earthworm than a Shadow Ball, and it also hits Terra Steel Chestnut, which I am otherwise walled by. And then last up, secondary Wincon, kind of just Keldeo, but in Pheasantipity form. Max Fizdef, Bold, Calm Mind, Roost, Moonblast, Shadow Ball. This thing is really hard for my opponent to kill. Moonblast plus Shadow Ball, I mean, it's like perfect coverage. They have a Pyroar, which is like one of the few things that can resist that dual stab. but again, that's a Pyro, so I'm not too worried about it. Um, Definitely can just win the game. If like Gardevoir dies, so that Psyshock threat isn't there, and I'm boosted enough to kill Ting Lu, like Boulder can't really revenge kill me. I'm pretty quick. I don't have that much speed, but I should be outspeeding like any Vaporeon or like even a bulky Terapagos. I'm probably faster than. I thought about running more speed, but I figured it's probably not necessary. So that's Pheasantipity. Spread some Toxics, be hard to kill. A pretty bulky team, but then just like two really fantastic breakers. Probably leading Masquerada, but we'll see how it goes. What do I expect to see? Probably just top six. Um, like maybe a Belly Bolt, like Fizzdef is pretty nice to switch into Masquerada. But yeah, I think top six gen. And what do we see? We see both Belly Bolt and Chestnut. Interesting. Okay, so there's no Vaporeon, which is very nice. It means clicking Scald into this team is incredibly free. And there's also no Iron Boulder, which means one less thing that is faster than Meowscarada. That's great. Very much expecting Scarf Gardevoir. I feel like you need something faster than Meowscarada and Dragapult in this game, or else you probably just lose. Meowscarada is quite a bit worse than I was expecting it to be here, seeing both Bellybolt and Chestnut, because I don't really want to click triple axle into a Helmet Chestnut, even though it would kill, or especially if they Terra, or Bellybolt and get staticked. But I am going to lead Meowscarada either way, figuring I can just knock something off. If I lead into Tinglu, that's fantastic. We just click Flower Trick really freely, which doesn't make contact, so it's really safe into Chestnut. So I lead Meow, and I lead into Petron. Perfectly fine. Banded Knockoff isn't going to kill this. I think if they're max Fizz Def, it will still 2 a KO. So Knockoff will do like 65%, the next one will kill. And then I'll become a Dark type, which means I remembered Protean, right? Good, I did. Um, I'll become a Dark type, which means I won't be weak to Malignant Chain. And there's Scarf, and then Okomi at turn 1. So probably should have scouted for that. I have a pretty safe switch in next control. So bad play on my part. I think Scarf Patch is like one of its better sets too. So not even considering that was a pretty bad play on my part. But there goes my Meowscarada, which granted was not as good as I was hoping for it to be this game. It was kind of here to like put on a lot of pressure on Vaporeon because Vaporeon, like they're switching to Mola, and then I Baton Pass out and threaten with a Banded Flower Trick, which they don't really switch into. But there's a Chestnut and there's no Mola, or there's no Vaporeon. So losing me out, unfortunate, but not the end of the world. To revenge kill this thing, I just go Dragapult. I know they're locked into Gunk Shot. They probably don't want to click Gunk Shot into a Dragapult. And Shadow Ball is a pretty free click into their team. I didn't want to go Excadrill because that just lets in Chestnut, and I do 20% with Earthquake or something, not even. And I have to switch into Chestnut or they could have a Spike or something, which is just bad for me. So I figured Dragapult was my really my best way of revenge killing this Pecharunt. I click Shadow Ball. Or no, I click Dart, sorry, because I figured they're going to switch, and I also don't want to Shadow Ball into Bulletproof Chestnut. And it does solid damage into Tinglu. Getting chip on this thing is really good for Keldeo. It means that's a turn that I don't have to taunt their Whirlwind, and I can instead just kill them. Same thing with Pheasantipity. I don't have taunt on this thing, so I do just lose to Whirlwind. Um, but if I can boost enough and now it's in range, that would be fantastic. So Darks gets good chip. I take Life Orb, that's okay. I can Wish back up if I need to. I go into Mola figuring they can't really do a whole lot to me. They go into Chestnut, perfectly fine. I'm not really threatened by this thing at all. They knock off my boots. Unfortunate because they do have spikes and rocks potential, but I can just Baton Pass out. Bring in Pheasantipity, which can Moonblast this. Moonblast does not get blocked by Bulletproof, which is really critical here. And I do believe I double into Mola here because I figure Moonblast is just going to bring in Patch, which to be fair, my Pheasantipity beats Patch, so I definitely should have just clicked Moonblast. I don't know why I didn't. I think I was scouting Terra, actually. I thought maybe Terra Steel was coming out here, which Terra Steel would absolutely beat my Pheasantipity set. Um, but I think I was scouting for that, and then I went Mola here. That's why. They go into Patch. which makes sense. So that tells me, okay, they don't really want to Terra Chestnut here. They probably want to Terra their Scarf Guard. Again, I'm assuming Scarf Guard. And they go Petulant, which means they think their Petulant beats my Pheasantipede, which it absolutely does not. So I'm going to remember that for next time and think, okay, Pheasantipede can just set up on Petulant. They're physical, I'm max Phys Def with a Roost and Calm Mind. I can set up on them forever. So that's going to be important information for later. They party shut out, perfectly fine with me. And I think I just baton, or do I skull? I think I skulled here actually, which was probably a bad play. I probably should have just clicked baton pass because I don't burn guard here, which actually would have been bad. I really want to get a toxic on this thing with Pheasantipede later, so I'm a little lucky that I did not burn them there. Baton pass was probably just a better play. I thought maybe they would stay in and I wanted to burn them, um, but yeah, they're not staying in on me. Definitely just clicking baton pass would have been the better play there. I go hard Excadrill because I don't want to take a Terra Fairy Moonblast. They could be specs for all I know, which would probably kill my Mola. But they go for Hypnosis, which tells me, okay, they're not Choice Scarf, that's good to know. Dragapult can Revenge Kill this. But they're Hypnosis, which is really annoying because now my Excadrill's asleep and they can just get Chip on me for free with Mystical Fire. Which does a laughable amount of damage. But still, it's damage. I can't keep making this play forever. I just need to hope they miss Hypnosis at some point. I'm asleep, they go into Chestnut. I get one turn sleep, which is nice. I Earthquake, get 16%. I'll take every bit of chip I can get. I go into Pheasantipede here. As the Earthquake, I'm max Phys Def, so it does not 2 KO me. And I can just throw off a Moonblast. I think I do click Moonblast this time, yeah. 15%, I'll take the damage, and I think I Roost here. Yeah, as they Poltergeist, that's fine. And I can just start Calm Minding on this thing. Pheasantipede is in a really good spot already. This thing is definitely looking to be my win con. Besides Psyshock Gardevoir, they can't really kill me. Unless they're like offensive Ting-Lu, but it's already chipped down. So a little bit more chip on Ting-Lu, and they're never going to be able to hit me. I'll just kill them. And then, as long as they're not Terra Steel Chestnut, I think my Pheasantipede can just win this game. In comes Belly Bolt. Again, I don't think this thing beats me at all. So I just think I throw off a Moonblast here. Yeah, let's go Petulant. Perfectly fine. They're just giving me chip on this thing. Which is slowly putting it in range of Sucker Punch from Dragapult, which is good. Because I know they're not Scarf Guard, so they don't really have a great way of revenge killing Dragapult besides this Petulant. And if I can just Sucker Punch to kill them, they can't really revenge kill me. So they party shut out, perfectly fine. I should have Calm Minded here. I think I clicked Shadow Ball, which hits guard, which is nice. 27%, not great damage, but I do get the poison here, or the toxic, which is good. Had I clicked Calm Mind there, I probably would have just been forced out by Psyshock, so actually I think Shadow Ball was the right play. Lucky that I got the toxic here, but I was probably going to get it at some point. Anyways, my team has quite a bit of staying power, although Excadrill is getting chipped down, so I would like to get a Wish onto it pretty soon here. In comes Excadrill, a Terra Fairy, good to know, as a Psyshock, cool. Means Terra Steel Chestnut is not an option anymore, so Pheasantipede is looking like a really fantastic win con. They take some toxic damage, good stuff. As they go into Chestnut, I'm just gonna click, or no, I double into Mola, figuring they probably want to switch, and I want to get a Wish into my Excadrill. So them going Chestnut here gives me a pretty safe Wish. They see Bomb perfectly fine. I think I Scald here, actually, I'm a liar. I do Scald here. And I get the burn, which is great. They go Gardevoir. As I Baton Pass. Back into Excadrill. I think just throwing up a Wish instead of going for the Scald burn on Chestnut would have been a better play. Getting the burn on Chestnut is really great. It means it's even easier for Pheasantipede to set up on it. Like crit Earthquakes I don't need to worry about anymore, as previously they were doing like 60 to 70%. But yeah, just go to Excadrill, expecting the Gardevoir. And I think I Earthquake this turn. Nope, I go back to Mola. I think this is the turn that I go for Wish. Gardevoir comes in. They are tracing regen, which means they're going to stay at near full, but they're still toxic, so I'm not too worried about this thing. I Wish up into Excadrill, take any hit, and get back to full. They Hypnosis, a little annoying. Um, I think another play could have been like sacking Keldeo to um, to Hypnosis so that they can't Hypnosis something else. But Keldeo also looks really good this game. Their Petrun's their way of revenge killing me, and I'm quite a bit of Fizz Def on that thing, so they're not going to do that much damage to me. And then Calm Mind beats pretty much everything else. Uh, although Belly Bolt is a bit of a problem there. So Excadrill goes to sleep. They're starting to get chipped with Moonblast because they know it's a free click. They switch here because I could potentially wake up, and I do. And I get a bit of Earthquake chip on this Chestnut. This thing's slowly getting weakened. It's now in range of Dragon Darts from Dragapult, which is good. I go into Mola as they double into Belly Bolt, good play. But I can just go Pheasantipity. I don't want to get Toxic on my Mola, and there's not a whole lot that this Belly Bolt can do to Pheasantipity besides Thunder Wave, which would be annoying, because now I'm slower than Terapagos and maybe even Tinglu, depending on how much speed they have. But they go for Toxic. Good stuff. I think I just do a Moonblast here. No, I Calm Mind. And I do not want to risk this thing being like Choice Band and killing me with Earthquake, so I just switch into Mola. A pretty safe play. As they get up their rocks, really greedy play. I think I could have just won the game if I clicked Moonblast there. I would have 2 KO'd them. Gardevoir can't revenge kill me, and I could just roost on everything else. But they get me there. Guard comes in. I think I just Baton Pass, or do I wish? I just Baton Pass into Excadrill. And they go for Hypnosis right in my face. 60% chance. And they've already hit 2. They hit the 3rd. They would have just died, but they hit. I'm asleep. And then they have to switch, or they don't switch here, risking me waking up. I don't. That's 2 turns of sleep. In comes Tinglu. I'd love chip on this thing. I'm trying to rapid spin here, but I don't get it. I stay asleep for 3 turns. I did have 2 turns, or 1 turn sleeps twice in a row previously, so I probably deserve the 3 turn sleep. But it would have been nice to just kill that Gardevoir. Although they did take quite a bit of toxic damage staying in there, so I'll take it. I switch out into Mola. I don't want to risk an Earthquake. I don't think getting the spin off is worth it. They go back into Gardevoir expecting me to switch. Good play. They trace my regen, so when this thing switches out, they're going to be back at full. But I can go Excadrill here. It should live 2 hits, and I'll be guaranteed to wake up. But I make the safer play of just Baton Passing, because I know I take 1 hit from this. And now I can guaranteed wake up here. Mold Breaker is nice, by the way. It goes through Terapagos' Terra Shift. So it's not really a safe switch in for them. I think I just spin here with my guaranteed wake up. Yeah. And I think I go back to Mola. Yep, because I want to get this thing back to full so that I can take a hit from Gardevoir if need be. Rocks go back up. It's going to start being hard to keep these off the field. Petra runs their spin blocker, which doesn't really want to spin block into Excadrill. I also don't think Poltergeist would kill me. But I throw up a wish and can go hard Excadrill here. Nothing they have can kill me. Then I'll get back to pretty healthy. I am max HP on Excadrill, so it's not going to bring me back to full. I'm also not even any HP on Mola, but I still get pretty good healing. Then comes Chestnut. I Earthquake. Doesn't quite 2 KO even with the burn, so I do switch again here into Mola. Pretty long game. I haven't gotten a single kill, but I think I'm getting in a really good spot. This Gardevoir is going to be dead soon. Tinglu's pretty chipped down. Chestnut's almost dead, and I have a lot of information on this Pecharunt. I think I can definitely win this game with Pheasantipity as long as I can kill this Gardevoir, which Excadrill's still decently healthy, and their main switch into Excadrill is almost dead. So I think soon Excadrill should be able to either put on a lot of pressure on the rest of the team or just kill Gardevoir. Terapagos comes in, and I Baton Pass, and I didn't really have much of another play. I go into Excadrill here. Maybe I could have gone Pheasantipity. I'm full HP and I could have thrown off a Moonblast. But I go Excadrill instead because I want to spin. And I can take any hit from this thing. I'm max speed FAV. This is my only thing for Gardevoir though, and if I let this thing get chipped by Terapagos, I might start struggling to heal it back up, depending on how low it gets. But alternatively, I guess I could have gone Keldeo and start Calm Mining, or just thrown off a Secret Sword. Um, so I think maybe not using up my Excadrill on this Terapagos could have been a better play. I do get the spin off though, which is nice. Mola has boots knocked off and nothing else is boots. So getting Rocks gone is nice. The Earth Power doesn't do much damage at all. Um, and I can just Iron Head. I go for the flinch because it's not much weaker than Earthquake. And I'll take the 30% flinch chance. I do get a crit, which is nice. Um, helps put this thing in range of Dragapult and Pheasantipity. The Earth Power again, and now I'm very low. I think I switch here? I do. I switch into Keldeo, figuring I can take any one hit and kill them. And I can save my Excadrill to try and wish it back up later. As they Terra Starstorm, there's a lot of damage. I kind of forgot they could click Terra Starstorm that turn to kill Excadrill, because it would have done the same amount of damage as Earth Power. So, or sorry, that's not true. Um, it would have only done half as much. So Earth Power is doing 28, I'm at 14. Terra Starstorm would kill there. So they can just click that, do a lot of damage to Keldeo. I am leftovers though, so I get some healing back as I kill Chestnut. That is good, but with Excadrill being so low, Chestnut being dead doesn't really make that big of a difference, because I don't think Excadrill is going to have another chance to heal back up. But we can hope. I go Pheasantipity on Petulant here as a parting shutout. That's fine. In comes Tinglu. I go Mola as rocks go back up. They go Belly Bolt as I wish, and I recognize that, okay, most options that this Belly Bolt can go for will not hit Drill. If they go for Toxic or if they go for an electric move, I'm immune and I can heal back up. But I think, judging by how my opponent's been playing, I've never played them before, but they've been playing very well. So I think I can assume that they recognize the situation they're in. If Excadrill heals back up to like 70% or something, the game is probably just over. So I don't want to go Excadrill here. Instead I go Pheasantipity because I recognize Belly Bolt can't really do anything to me. Am I wasting a wish? Pretty much. But I don't want to sack Excadrill for no reason. This can still just position Pheasantipity in a pretty good spot. As they do Muddy Water. They miss, so if they missed on Excadrill, that would have been fantastic, but I did not want to make that play. So good play clicking the Muddy Water there, because even if they click Toxic or an electric move there, Pheasantipity doesn't really care, so you may as well click Muddy Water, hoping that I go Excadrill. Tinglu comes in as I Moonblast, and I'm just going to be able to 2-KO this thing. I'm very surprised with how much damage this Moonblast did. I don't think they were max Spadaflu. I didn't actually calc during the game. I probably should have. But I have no special attack on this Pheasantipity. This is a base 70 special attack Moonblast, no investment, and it's doing 30% to a Tinglu. So I click Moonblast again, and down goes Lu, which means if I can get a spin off, their Rocker's dead, assuming they don't also have rocks on Terapagos. Now that Tinglu's dead, they go to Gardevoir. Pretty free Psyshock for them. My Gardevoir switch-in is now dead, pretty much. Um, but I know they're not Choice Scarf, so as long as I can get some chip on them and get them in range of Dragapult or Keldeo, we should be good. Keldeo is chipped though, but given my HP after a Calm Mind, I can live a Terra Fairy Moonblast. But I've taken a lot of chip, so that is no longer an option. But as long as I can get them in range of Shadow Ball from Dragapult, we should be good. And they are toxic. So I go Mola, figuring they want a Psyshock, but no, they click Hypnosis. Hit the fourth one. Kind of annoying for me because I would have lived Psyshock into Moonblast, and I would have just clicked Healing Wish, my last move, into Excadrill, heal that thing up, and then Excadrill beats the last four. So unfortunate that they hit that Hypnosis, but they also would have had a chance the next turn if they missed that one. I go Pheasantipity, figuring they probably want to go for a Moonblast here. I just want to stall out a couple turns so that they take enough toxic damage to where I can revenge kill them with Dragapult. I do take rocks and a decent bit of chip, but I get Black Sludge healing back. Should still be enough health for this thing to win the game. I can recover on pretty much anything. I switch Mola, figuring Psyshock's probably coming out. It does. And then I'm hoping I wake up this turn and I can Healing Wish my Excadrill. Now that I've... Actually, no, I guess I haven't burned a turn asleep. So I'm guaranteed to stay asleep here. But I should live a Moonblast, as I do. And that'll give me just enough turns to where this thing is pretty much dead. And now I can just Revenge Kill it with Dragapult, clicking Shadow Ball. It's a pretty safe Revenge Kill for me, because Terapagos is assuming it's max HP, which, given the calcs, I figured it was. It should be dead to Dragon Darts, so even if they go Terapagos here on Shadow Ball, they'll die to Dragon Darts the next turn. In hindsight, could I have just gone Keldeo instead to Revenge Kill? I'm also faster, and Surf is really free into the team, so I probably should have just clicked Surf with Keldeo. It also means I don't take Life Orb damage for no reason, and I would have gotten leftover Ceiling back, so I definitely should have just killed with Keldeo instead of Dragapult. Shadow Ball, they just give me the kill, which is great. Now there's pretty much nothing that can kill Pheasantipity, so it's just pretty much waiting out until I can set up with that thing. In comes Petrarunt. I just sack Excadrill. It really doesn't have any role in this game now that I can't heal it back up. They Poltergeist. I can go Pheasantipity and Roost here. They miss Poltergeist. That's fine. Would have just meant they burn one more Roost, which I have plenty. I Calm Mind up. Nothing this Belly Bolt can really do to me. I Moonblast, try to get a Toxic on them. I do. As they Muddy Water. They don't get the drop though, so I can just Moonblast again. Or actually, I Calm Mind, figuring if I can Oko this Terapagos and Oko Petrarunt, less chances for them to crit me. Or set up with Terapagos, which wouldn't beat me, but they do get the accuracy drop. I miss a Moonblast, because why wouldn't I? They miss a Muddy Water, best turn ever. I Moonblast again, and I miss again. At this point I realized there's no reason to stay with this lowered accuracy. That's my lose con, is just missing too many moves. So I decide I can just go into Dragapult here. I don't think they're clicking Toxic. Nothing else Belly Bolt can really do to me. So they'll just die to Toxic, and then I'll have a Dragapult in front of Petrarunt and Terapagos. The Parabolic Charge does a lot of damage because of the charge boost. Then they Revenge Kill with Petrarunt. Sucker Punch does not quite kill here. So I go Pheasantipity. I'm full HP. I'll be able to live 2 hits from this. The Poltergeist does 39. I'm playing a little risky at this endgame here. If this Poltergeist crits, I'd probably just lose the game. Although Keldeo does live a hit, it'd be close. Keldeo would live the hit, I would Surf them, which would put them in range of Sucker Punch, and then I would need to hope that that Dragon Darts does kill that Terapagos. So it would be close. But yeah, a bit of a sloppy endgame. I think it all kind of started when I didn't Revenge Kill Gardevoir with Surf, and I chose to Revenge Kill with Dragapult instead. Because when I killed, let's just go back a couple turns here. That's quite a few turns actually. If I would have just Revenge Killed this Gardevoir, nothing they have kills me. They probably would have gone Belly Bolt, which means I could have just gone Pheasantipity for free. And taken a lot less damage than switching or sacking Excadrill. So yeah, that was a misplay on my end, but I switched Dragapult, they died at Toxic. They Revenge Kill me with Petrarunt. I go Pheasantipity, risking a crit. They go for it again. Do they crit me? They do not, and I can just Roost up. And they are slowly running out of Poltergeists. They only have 3 more. They only have 2 more now. I Roost once more. I just want to get out of range of crit. I Roost again here, just because I'm still in range of crit. And I figure I don't need all the Roosts I have. I just Calm Mind on this thing. There's not a whole lot that it can do to me. Moonblast, 19%, doesn't do anything. The Ice Beam, go for the freeze. That's the right play. That's how you win this game at this point, as my opponent. I get the Toxic. Ice Beam, doesn't freeze, luckily. And one last Moonblast will kill them. In comes Petrarunt, and here's where I make a bit of a misplay again. I don't Roost here. There's no reason to not Roost here. I know they are guaranteed not killing me here. Crit Gunk Shot will not kill me. Or I'm assuming they're going for Gunk Shot because they're going to run out of Poltergeists if they click that. No reason not to click Roost here. They gunk shot and they do crit me. And I Shadow Ball, which does not kill them. Uh, so now everything's in range of gunk shot except for Keldeo. So I don't lose the game actually. Keldeo will just kill with Surf. And I also have Sucker Punch on Dragon Bolt. But I do just lose Fezandipity here for no reason, and I lost differential, which actually mattered. I would have been tied for first place um, had I not lost that Fezandipity, but I'm second place now because of that. I do still win, but definitely a little closer than I would have liked. Dragapult a little bit more chip and wouldn't have been able to click Sucker Punch there, and if they crit my Keldeo with Gunk Shot, it would have died. So risking crits, they had to have a lot go their way with crits and Gunk Shot hits though. 4 Hypnosis hits, um, a little devastating, but I think I played pretty well around that Gardevoir. It was a bigger problem than I anticipated for. They ended up being blunder policy Hypnosis, so they were kind of hoping to miss, but I would have been perfectly fine with that, um, because then I would have just been able to kill them with Excadrill. That's week 5. I think we're going right into playoffs. The rest of the season's been kind of cut short, so as far as I know, we have playoffs either next week or the week after. 76 turns, by the way, my longest draft game of all time as of this far. Thanks for watching. GG's to my opponent, and I will see you later. Bye bye.